The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you're having a great week. Excited to spend this Tuesday moment with you, or Wednesday if you're listening to us on the Empowerment Channel. And today we're going to be talking about springing forward. I love to do that when we get to the month of March and really look at ways that we can move forward in life, not just kind of push forward, slug forward kind of thing, but really spring forward with a joyful buoyancy and energy in our life. And we're going to be looking at how to do that in business, in our life, and on purpose. I really want to empower all of you to live your life in a very purposeful way. So we'll be talking about those types of things. Today, as I was getting ready for the show, I was reflecting back on an experience I had recently that I wanted to share with all of you. I had just finished up the week of our speaker talent search, which is a time where we have auditions and people who are messengers are called to share their message with the world and in one way or another come in and audition. And in their auditioning, they're really showcasing their message before opportunities that are looking for them. And so it's kind of matching them up, witnessing and experiencing their message, which is such an honor. It's like this sacred space that we get to hold and be in and experience when they're sharing, this is how I'm called to impact the world. And as we were coming to the end of that week, I was celebrating with one of my friends, and she and I hold that space together for people. And we're having girlfriend time. I think it's really important to remember to celebrate when you've just had an amazing week like that and have helped those connections form and have seen it all come together to pause and celebrate. So that's what we're doing. We went out to dinner at a local restaurant that we just love, and we're having a great time, just two girlfriends connecting and hanging out and reflecting on the week and how we grew and what we saw and just all that kind of stuff, being rather than holding that space, because those are a little bit different when you get to just kind of relax and be and celebrate. And our server came up to us and we wanted adult beverages. And we wanted to experiment a little bit and maybe try something we hadn't tried before. And so we turned to the server and asked her, hey, what would you recommend? We're kind of wavering between these two choices. What's your opinion on how they taste? And, what would you select? And it dawned on us that moment. I don't know if any of you are like this, but I kind of think everyone's my age all the time. I always think they're in the same space I am, and I just approach them from that perspective, not necessarily recognizing perhaps we're different ages. And so here's a moment where I was confronted with that. And she turned to us and she smiled really big, beautiful smile. And she said, well, I'm not quite old enough to drink yet. And I forget if she was 19 or 20. I think she was 20. So I think she's 20 years old. And in the United States, you need to be 21 in order to have adult beverages. And we kind of looked at her a little bit shocked, like, oh, that's right, not everyone's our age and can have the beverages we have, that kind of thing. And we just thought it was really funny and laughed. And she said, but here's the one that we see of those two choices that more people order and seem to keep ordering and really like. And that we were like, oh, that's great, thank you. And then we're kind of in this awkward silence because we're like, well, where do we go from here? We need to make a decision. We just made an assumption about age. And she says, well, I hear it's all downhill after 21 anyway. And we looked at her and I thought, wow, I had the spirit of, I need to share a truth with this young woman. And I said, oh no, that is not true. You get to choose your path. You get to choose every day, each year, how you want to live your life. And I said, for me, it gets richer and more amazing and more joyful every year. And you have that same choice too. Don't believe what they're saying. You get to choose. You have an amazing future ahead of you. Just choose. And then she went away and we enjoyed our meal and she kept coming back like a magnet. She kept coming back and just was, I think, kind of observing us like, wow, they're so happy and they're this different age and they're so full of life. And we're just having a great time just being. And she goes, what do you guys do? Like she was fascinated with us. And we're like, oh, well, we just had our speaker talent search. And then my friend said, and Rebecca has these women's empowerment series events that she holds. And she wanted to know more and more about those. And we just kept having a conversation through our time there. And in the end, I invited her to come as my guest to one of our events. And she became so excited. She was so impacted by this time, as we were too. She ended up coming to one of our events, brought one of her girlfriends, and even stepped up on stage in front of everyone and shared how impacted she was and how exciting it was to be around women lifting each other up and empowering. And she's excited about the choice she can have in her life and the purpose. And I'm sharing all of this because I want you all to know it matters when we speak our truth. It matters what we choose to share or not share. And when we have that pulse come up within us, like, oh, wow, let me share a truth with love. It wasn't with criticism. It wasn't with, you should know. It was, oh my goodness, no, you get to choose. And it can be wonderful. That's a real gift to change someone's life and my own. I became impacted as well because I thought, oh my goodness, there are these women, young ladies wandering around believing that it's downhill from here, looking back as if those are the best years of their life. And these are people in their 19, 20 years old and kind of dreading the future. And I see this at every age and generation, that the past, those are the glory days. And I want to let you know, we get to choose right now, every breath. Are we going to spring forward in our life, in our business, in how we are being? And I hope you choose to say, yes, I want to live on purpose and be on purpose in my life and in my business. I want to spring in my step. And I look back on some of the women that in particular powerfully affected me, and they were the ones that kind of moved to their own beat, broke the mold. People would tilt their head a little bit when they looked at them like, because they didn't know, as they stand out in their own unique way, wow, you can really live life that way. I look back and I thought, there were moments as I observed these women in my life, I want to be like them. They inspired me. I saw that in business and I saw that in my personal life. And I want to really bring to you people who can help you look at life a little bit differently. Raise some great questions to explore so that you get to make choices on what you're going to echo forward. What truths are you going to bring forward and share in your own life, in your business, and in every breath you take, even when you're just being. Because my friend and I, we were just being. We weren't there on a mission to go impart truth on people. We were there to be and to celebrate. And that became attractive and contagious. And so we can be that every day in our life. And I want that for all of you. So as we take a moment to breathe together, so let's take a deep breath. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe, alert, hands on the wheel. But those of you who are able to, I encourage you to just take a couple moments with us to close your eyes. Another deep breath, both feet on the ground. Feel that chair supporting you. One hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Bringing all of you in, mind, heart, body, soul, and spirit. Breathe that in. Big belly breath. One more time as we're breathing in, filling our belly. Breathe out, creating space to hear and receive. And in this space that we've created, continue breathing. Please keep breathing. I want you to take a moment and just ask, what is it I need today? Help me spring forward or get that spring back into my life. What is it I need that will serve and support me on my journey? What do I need to remember or hear or receive? Just breathe and see what it is that you need today. It can come in a picture, a memory, a sound of music. All different types of ways we can receive information. And as you do, come back into the room, take another breath, open your eyes, and I invite you to write down what it is that you need today. So you can really keep it top of mind. Be on the lookout for it. When we know what we're looking for, when we know what we need, it's a lot easier to recognize it and receive it and know, oh, I'm headed in the direction to bring that to me. Or, oh, wait, what's that over there? We can lean in. We're more attuned to being able to recognize it and say yes. And I want you to be attuned to leaning into what it is that you need. Beautiful. Great. Now, in this space, I would love to have you share, Irma, what was laid upon your heart to share with us today?
Well, talking about springing forward and moving in our business and moving our business forward, moving ourselves forward and doing it with intent, I want us to think about what we need to do that, as you pointed out, Rebecca. And I want to bring about some kind of intuitiveness to us that we have that people don't trust in themselves. And I want them to start the process of trusting their intuitiveness, whether it's what they know, what they don't know, and doing that in a decisive way with intentional actions, not just thoughts, but moving it to the next step and taking an action, and an action that we'll talk about a little later.
Perfect. So really trusting ourselves and then putting action behind that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then, Ariel, we just have a few seconds here. So do you have something laid upon your heart that you can share?
Oh, yeah. Your young friend's expectation about how we just go downhill after 20, that was exactly how I felt when I was 21. I thought, okay, I can vote now, I can drink legally. Why should I get any older? And I at that age did not have any models of, quote, grown-ups who were leading creative lives. So I didn't want to be one. So I just set myself on the path and looked around me and did what was in my heart to do. Went to Europe, saved up the money for a year and went to Europe and, just did what was adventurous and alive to me. And it's gotten better and better. And in fact, I met the love of my life when I was 68 years old.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, We are just about to go to commercial break here. So, Ariel, thank you for sharing. In a way, I was hearing the best is yet to be. So that was kind of what I was hearing echoing, which I absolutely love. And really mixing it with that trusting of ourselves. And Irma, you're absolutely right. I think so many of us shy away from that. And we have great wisdom within ourselves and great intuition. And to lean into that a little bit more than we do. And so much so that we're actually putting action behind it. So I love that intuition mixed with action, and the best is yet to be. So we're going to lean into our commercial break here. And as we do that, I invite you to really sit with what we shared and see what it is that's laid upon your heart that you can share and bring forward as we explore the next steps in our show. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Age with Attitude TV is for the woman who does not see her future as a nice little old lady, but rather she sees herself living a bold, juicy, kick-ass second half. Now, if this is the life you want for your second 50, then Age with Attitude TV is for you. You'll find stories to inspire you, plus money and metabolism tips that really work. Check it all out at agewithattitude.tv, presented by Jan Rose Distel. Find us on voiceamerica.tv. And remember, it's never too late to create a life you love.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you took the opportunity during that commercial break to kind of breathe, listen, receive, and explore a little bit about what it is that you need today. It's so easy to just move forward in life, and the minutes are ticking by that we forget to stop and check in. And our life can move really powerfully with more ease and more joy when we remember to check in and really see what it is that we need today that will help us be who we want to be and move forward in a purposeful way in our life and our business. So I invite you during our commercial breaks to lean into you and really take a moment to check in, to process what's being shared. Listen to the commercials. You'll find these are actually our sponsors who believe in empowering women and transforming lives, believe in the work that we do. So I invite you to, as you're listening and receiving, to also get to know these organizations and people that believe so powerfully in you and the work that we're doing to serve and support you. So our first guest expert, I'm excited to share with you, Irma Vargas. She has a BA in English, a master's in public administration, and she's worked in both the public sectors for several decades. And through that process, through that time, has created and formed several companies. And the core of all of these companies and organizations that she has, that she brings to the world, is her passion for helping people and entrepreneurs discover their strengths, step into them, and get tangible results as they're out there touching the world. Please help me warmly welcome the amazing Irma Vargas to the show. Welcome!
Yay! Thank you, Rebecca. You're such a sweetheart.
You're very welcome, and I'm excited to have you. And I love to start with why. Why this work that you do out there in the world, this common theme through all your companies and organizations that you have about helping people in this way. Why are you so passionate about this, and why do you spend your time and energy doing the work you do? What's your why?
I think it's because of what the why of other people is. For example, when you want to know why something is happening, it's an illumination, right? You want to find out what you don't know. And so it's a brightness, it's an openness, it's something that you are moving forward in. And it's rather than being closed off, rather than not, you're expanding, you're letting information in, you're letting new ideas in, you're growing. And there's so many avenues to grow in doing this and understanding that the more you have, the more you can give.
I like that. The more you have, the more you can give. Mm-hmm. I love that. And that to me is so in alignment with nourishing ourselves, really seeing what is it that we need, kind of filling ourselves up to overflowing. So I love that. Thank you. Now, do you mind explaining in your words, what is it that you do?
Well, I help organizations, individuals find their strengths. Now, you might think, well, I know what my strengths are. I can do this and I can do that. But in order to really be living and working in your strengths, there's some clues. There's some things that you could ask yourself, or our listeners can ask themselves about whether or not what are their true strengths. It's not just what you learned that you had to do for a particular task or a job. It's not reading the instructions from the IKEA furniture box that you got. It's something more. It's a yearning. It's something that you yearn to do. It's something that you learn quickly. It's something that makes you feel like you're in flow with nature, with yourself. You're not thinking about it. It's just happening. And you find this deep, deep satisfaction. It, instead of draining you, it brings you to life. Instead of just being an application of some kind of thing you learned, it's real deep awareness that what you're doing is exalting to you.
And if we are able to tap into this, so discover our strengths, step into our flow, that we are lifted up and almost exalted and really enjoying, because to me it sounds energizing as you're describing it. Energizing.
Yes, absolutely.
As we step into our strengths, why does that matter? You know, I get what it does for me and it feels good, but how does that impact my business or my life or others around me? What are your thoughts around that?
Well, just imagine if you want a successful business, and you want reciprocation. You want your customer to come back to you time and time again. You want your customer to tell other people about you. You want to be the person that is saying, I serve us so we can serve others, as opposed to, I will serve you if you will serve me. Now think about those two statements. If you came across somebody who put the mentality and the actions out there of, I will serve you if you serve me, versus the person that acts and speaks in a mode of, I will serve us so we can serve others. The difference between those two and how you react to that is what will show you the difference between an organization, a store, a coach, a consultant that you will go back to and that you will refer, and one that you won't.
Well, I'm even thinking as you're sharing, I would be more attracted to the second, or I know for myself, I love connecting with people and going to businesses and working with people that love what they're doing. Like it's a joyful experience to interact with them.
Yes.
And I know they love what they're doing, and that's kind of contagious, versus the one where there's this pressure or feeling of obligation. The first one I just described, where it's this joyful, there's a trust. You can tell they love what they do. They're passionate about it. They're going to take it to the next level. Whereas the other one, well, if you do this, I will do this kind of energy, has me not feel as connected, not necessarily trust that they love what they're doing, that they're going to bring it all, because there's almost this holding back kind of thing that's going on there. So I agree. And if we echo that out in our lives on a personal level, on a coach level, on a business level, I think it's all very true. And how are we approaching those things? And when we step into our strengths, then we're really in that joyful energy of serving and bringing the best forward in a way that we're naturally designed to, which is brilliant, right?
Right. And it's attractive. It's like a magnet. Like you said, you were sitting there doing what you do, being who you were, and the young lady was attracted to that because she was lacking that. And the evidence that it was lacking in her life was her statement about, that was it, 21, and then it was downhill. So what she was lacking, what she found in you was what she was lacking in. And that's why she was so attracted to it. It's like when you need water, you're dehydrated. And that's what she was attracted to, that vibrance that you have, that you carry, because that's who you are.
Exactly. And really stepping fully into who we are makes a big difference. And our time is going so quickly, but I wanted to make sure that we took a moment to lean into an opportunity you have for us. And listeners, I invite you to lean in, as Irma has put together an amazing gift to support you on your journey so that you can actually get traction and get support in moving forward powerfully. So Irma, do you mind explaining a little bit about your gift?
Sure. It's a handout. It's what it means, what it is, and why it's important. And it's really just an insightful little PDF one page that they can print out and keep close to them and refer back to and understand what it looks like, what it could look like, and then at the bottom it'll give information on how to contact me and how to take it another step further, how to take action on it. It's a really great little handout for people who want to understand what strengths means.
Perfect. I love that, because it'll be a great summary of some of the things that we talked about today, which is great. So listeners, I invite you, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, to just kind of tap in and see, do I know strengths that I have? And am I living as if I do know what my strengths are in my business, in my life? Am I leaning into them? And when we come back towards the end of the show, I will let you know how to tap into the amazing gift that Irma is making available to you to really take your gifts to the next level and your strengths and really understand how to have them work powerfully in your life. So with that, I want to thank you all and invite you to lean into you during this commercial break, and we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Age with Attitude TV is for the woman who does not see her future as a nice little old lady, but rather she sees herself living a bold, juicy, kick-ass second half. Now, if this is the life you want for your second 50, then Age with Attitude TV is for you. You'll find stories to inspire you, plus money and metabolism tips that really work. Check it all out at agewithattitude.tv, presented by Jan Rose Distel. Find us on voiceamerica.tv. And remember, it's never too late to create a life you love.
Do you find yourself working tirelessly to keep your business going? Are you finding out that you don't have time for family, friends, any kind of personal life whatsoever? It's time to stop feeling trapped by your business. Tune in to Reclaim Your Freedom with host Shirley Dalton. You'll hear from guests that will help you work on your business instead of constantly in your business and get your life back while the business keeps running and humming. Reclaim Your Freedom airs live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. U.S. Pacific Time on Voice America Business.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Tune in for Suzanne Ross and Lighten Up TV, evolutionary wellness for the body, mind, and spirit. Each episode features Suzanne and her amazing guests, including inspirational authors, speakers, wellness experts, and spiritual guides. This series is focused on achieving total well-being so that you can live well and love life. Visit lightenuptv.net to find out more. Lighten Up TV is presented by the Awakening Center, a nonprofit for those seeking a higher way of living and being. Don't miss out on living your best life now. Go to lightenuptv.net today.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break and you got an opportunity to kind of check in about your strengths. And we had a little conversation behind the scenes that I just wanted to share with all of you because it was fun. You don't always get the behind the scenes moments that we do because you're listening to the commercials while those are going on. And I was asking my guests if they would be willing to share a tip a tip or an insight or something that would empower you even further on your journey towards the end of the show. And they were saying yes. And then one of the guests asked if I would be letting them know, though, when that was coming up. Or, I think there was a concern I would sneak it up on them and suddenly they'd be on the spot. And it just made me laugh because we tied it back into the strengths. So my strength is not being sneaky or subtle. I've learned that I'm much more direct and open and transparent about things, and that's a strength. But there were a lot of years, I remember, especially in my younger years, where I was trying to be sneaky, and people could always tell when I was up to something. Like my whole body language, everything gave it away, and I learned I just couldn't be sneaky and necessarily surprise people. I couldn't even tell a joke because I'd go right to the punchline because I was so excited I'd start cracking up and not able to even hold off on sharing that part. So I learned to operate more into my strengths of, being clear and transparent and open and sharing, what's going on versus that subtlety or surprising people. Not my strength. So I hope that you're joyfully discovering your strengths and leaning into those. So our next guest that we're going to be talking to, I think you're going to enjoy. I know you're going to enjoy her energy, her vibrancy. Her name is Ariel Adams, and she is a marriage and family therapist. And she noticed around the age of 47, people were suddenly calling her ma'am and treating her a little bit differently. And she finally tied it into it being tied to her age. And this led her to create Ageless Pizazz. And this group uses creative arts to help people step into their pizzazz, to their ageless pizzazz in life and that vibrancy that we can have. So please lean in and warmly welcome the vibrant and amazing Ariel Adams to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Here I am with all my vibrance and excitement and a little nervousness about being here.
Well, I am glad to have you and appreciate you bringing all of you to us and your transparency and sharing with us. I really appreciate that. And some of your heart that you shared earlier, that you shared a similar perspective as the young lady I shared about in the opening segment. And I know this taps into a little bit of why you do what you do now, but I'd love to have you share in your words why Ageless Pizazz. Why are you so passionate about bringing this to the world?
Well, I think that people, but my focus is women because I'm a woman and I just have that energetic connection to women of our age have so much to give to society and to the world. But we're brought up in this kind of muddy water of these beliefs about what it's going to be like to be older. And this conditioning can kind of pop up. And as we start getting older, 50 is like the big turning point. We start getting older, these stereotypes, there's an expression called stereotype embodiment. And we don't know that we're doing it, but in our bodies, in our minds, in our expectations, we change. And we expect to be less attractive, less exciting, less exuberant, less vibrant. And so it if we're expecting it, then it happens.
Yes.
It's starting to happen to me. So I studied it and I turned it around and I have made this period of my life the best yet. And so my mission is to help other women do that, and not only to help other women do that, but to help change to help us all by presenting a different image, by living vibrantly, to change the public image of what it is to get older.
I love the work that you do, and I've had the opportunity of experiencing you in person, Ariel. And you have a vibrancy and energy, playfulness, a sassiness in your dress and in how you move and how you interact with others. It's very dynamic and empowering, and I love that you embody the work that you do, and it creates that magnet that Irma and I were talking about earlier, that kind of creates that magnet of attracting others to you. And to me, I believe you're one of those ladies that people are going to go, I want to be like that when I grow up. And they're going to say it at all different ages. And I love that about who you are and the work that you do. Now, we've talked a little bit about this term, ageless pizazz. And I like saying it because it just feels great to say, pizazz. We all want pizazz in our life. But do you mind sharing your definition of what is ageless pizazz?
Okay, well, you said one of the words, which is playfulness. And there are books on it now. There's a book called Play. Play is so important to all of us in being alive, being open to life, being able to act in a way that's spontaneous and creative and that comes from a deeper source than, shall I say, our ego, that comes from what I call our essence or our spirit. And different people use different ways. Some people use meditation to tap into that essence. I've never been very good at meditating. For me, moving and playing are a much better way to find that timeless, spiritual, unpredictable thing in myself, and to help draw it out of other women, which is what we do in my Ageless Pizazz groups, where we're playing, doing theater games, doing monologues about ourselves. It's all very self-revelatory. What we do is we take our complaints and we play with them and exaggerate them and put them to rhythms and turn them into games, and so that our very complaints, our very pains become the core of our creativity. We turn it into material for creativity.
I love this. I just had this image of all of you in a theater playing, doing these things to music and to beat and laughing. And that creates such a vibrant energy. So that's the image I got as you were sharing.
Yeah,
and I love that it's the very things that could bring us down, or the complaints or the pains or the challenges, that you're able to bring such vibrancy out in their lives. I think that's really beautiful and really powerful. And I know that you have an amazing gift that you've put together for us today, and I'd love for you to share a little bit about that.
Okay. I'm actually writing a book, and the book is called Ageless Pizazz 9 Principles, and I always forget the whole title. 9 Principles for Turning Up Your Oomph, being more effective and having more fun as you get older. And so my gift is an excerpt out of that book, 3 chapters, not 3 whole chapters, but excerpts out of 3 chapters.
I was going to say 3 chapters. Wow. But, that makes more sense. The highlights.
Yeah, condensation of 3 chapters out of the book. And the first chapter is Be Here Now. And, of course, that underlies everything, presence, and just being in the present. And the second chapter is Feel Your Feelings. And what's the third one? I don't have it right here in front of me.
No worries at all. So, listeners, she's generously making available the highlights from 3 chapters to really help you have ageless pizzazz in your life, which I think is really generous and very powerful. And I believe, and I hope this is true, Ariel, you can correct me if it's not, but I believe these principles that you're sharing can apply in an ageless way. In a sense, whatever age you are, they can help you step into your ageless pizzazz now and throughout your life. And what a powerful gift and tool and resource to have in your life and to be made available to you. Is that true?
That's absolutely true, right? And, everything I'm talking about is really valid for people at whatever age. But it just happened that all the pain and anguish came up for me around getting older, so that's what I focused on, and that's what I'm putting out in the world.
Beautiful. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and making this gift available, the highlights and excerpts from your forthcoming book that we get kind of a preview, which is very cool. I love offering that to my listeners. So I want to thank you for that generous gift. And listeners, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I encourage you to kind of step in and be present and take a moment to think, breathe, receive what it is that you need today. How can you bring a little pizzazz and energy into your life in a joyful way? And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break. And I wanted to circle back on a few things that we talked about today. Now, we opened up the show really talking about what it is that we need. And we took a moment to listen to pause. And one of the things I had shared was remembering to celebrate. So I really want to encourage you to listen to what it is that you need to really build that practice in your life. And then make sure, especially for those of you who are doers out there that love to make lists and cross things off and plan, to remember to pause and celebrate. Because that's when we get nourished. That's when we become contagious in a great way. That's when we become magnetic. And I think really step into ourselves powerfully is remembering to celebrate and bring that into our life. There's a real power in that. But really learn to listen and see what it is that you need. And Irma, I loved how you shared in the opening is about trusting our intuition and where we're being led in that. And I love so much of what you've shared, Ariel, about, kind of in a sense summarizing, you get to choose how you're being in whatever age you are. And let's be ageless. Let's have pizzazz in our life. Let's have vibrancy and passion and excitement in all that we're doing. And part of that is really stepping into our strengths, like Irma was sharing, how important it is to know what your strengths are and to step into them. And both of our guests have generously made gifts available to support you in the areas we've talked about. And so just to remind you, Irma has put together a report for you, a sheet that you can refer to and really gain more understanding about strengths and how to step into them and why they're important and really empower you in that way. And then Ariel has generously made available the highlights and excerpts from her forthcoming book. So you get a preview before it's released to support you on your journey of really bringing that ageless pizzazz into your life. Here's how you access those gifts. You go to Radio Gifts, and it's plural because there's an S on the end. So radiogifts.net, like a net full of gifts. So radiogifts.net. You'll go to today's date, which is March 15th, and you will see both Ariel and Irma's pictures there, descriptions of their gifts, and you can simply click on the ones that will serve you at the highest level. When you go to that link for the first time, or as you go to it, I should say, we ask you to put in your name and email address so we can stay in touch. We want to stay in touch with you and let you know of forthcoming opportunities and events and really build a relationship with you. So please put in your name and email address, and then you'll have this world of gifts, this net of gifts open up to you to support you on your journey. You'll see several from me as well. And we really want you to have movement in your life. Part of that taking action piece that Irma talked about is really important. And here's an opportunity for you to say yes to you and to say, this is what I need. And this is what I want to lean into and have that support in your life, because I want you to have the same wisdom that I get to tap into, the same access to the experts that I get to talk to in your life. So I encourage you to say yes to you, to say yes to these gifts. Again, that's radiogifts.net. And then I asked if we could have just a little bit more from Ariel and Irma, and they both said yes. Oh, Irma, did you have a quick tip that you could share with us today?
I do. Let's start with you, Rebecca. You
Sure.
have talents, and you invest in those talents, and that becomes your strength.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have not gotten to your level and are starting off there, taking baby steps to try and do that. One of the ways that I've coined in my life and for myself, so that when things come at me, I'm able to get out of the negativity sooner and quicker, is I have set my alarm to 5:13 every day. Now, 5:13 in the morning. And sometimes in the evening. Why? Because 5:13 is my birth date. What's your birth date, Rebecca?
April 27th, and I like puzzles. Just in
So
case
at
anyone wants to know.
4:27, so at 4:27, either in the morning or in the afternoon, set your clock, set your phone to go off, and at 4:27, when you see your birth date come up in time, say to yourself, an I am statement. I am wonderful. I am grateful. I am happy. I am nurturing. I am loving. Any I am statement in a positive way. And then expand it if you want for the whole minute, or a quick, I love myself, or thank you, universe, thank you, God, thank you, chakra, whatever your beliefs are. Edify yourself every day for 1 minute.
I love this. What a great practice. And I love that it's reinforcing and celebrating the day we were born. How beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. So listeners, I really encourage you to, build that practice. And if you can do it twice a day, depending on, the date you were born. In March, it might be a little early at 3:15 in the morning. But whatever it is, I love that practice.
You have the afternoon.
Exactly. Really, really beautiful. So what a great practice and tip. Thank you. And then Ariel, we have just about a minute. So did you have a tip that you wanted to share with us, or a way we can bring pizzazz in our life, one of your secrets?
Yes. I have two. One is very fast. And that's in the playfulness part. Mm-hmm. I do, and I need to play, is I go, and I'm all alone and by myself, I go and I look in the mirror and I make faces at myself. And I can make really wild, weird faces, and it's quite fun. So that's one thing.
I love that, and that keeps the face muscles very nimble, too. And then, Ariel, we just have 30 seconds, so I don't know if you can do the second in 30 seconds, or if that's something
yes. Okay, this is what perfect. I begin every session with clients and every class with. Start by sensing your feet. Sweep your attention up to your whole body, so you're sensing your whole body. Then add listening, so you're sensing and listening. Then open your eyes and add looking, so you are sensing, listening, and looking. This is the best presence practice that I know. For me, it helps. It's much better than meditation.
I love that, and that upward movement of bringing all of you in, mind, body, soul, and spirit, but in a very kind of starting with the body, feeling way and staying very present. Really powerful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love this. So we just got some great tips that are very practical that we can bring into our life, from making faces at ourselves and enjoying and laughing with ourselves. I love that, to being very present, to affirming ourselves and building a way to do that in a very practical way so that you do it, tied into your birthday and celebrating that day and you in the process. I invite you to bring these practices into your life so that you can spring forward in all that you do, wherever you go, whatever may happen to you, whatever you are moving forward in, may you always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.